In this video, we're going to be talking about pressure and pressure conversions. So on your pressure worksheet, you have some pictures of manometers. Now recall, a manometer is a tool used to measure pressure. We have a pressure pushing down on both sides of this liquid, which is mercury, and the mercury will rise in either direction depending on which pressure is stronger. So for all three of these questions, the pressure outside, the pressure on the exposed side is the room pressure, the P room. So that's 730 mmHg. Now in A, we have our manometer, and it's at 84 on one side and 127 on the other side. So again, think of like a seesaw, and it's tilted upwards, which means that this pressure has to be bigger than this pressure because it's pushed upwards towards the right side. So our pressure in the room, the 730, plus the difference between this level will give us our new pressure. So we have a difference of 127 minus 84, which is 43 millimeters of mercury. And so the difference here is 43 millimeters of mercury, which means that the 730 plus the 43 has to equal this pressure right here. Because again, this side has a greater pressure, and how much greater is that pressure? Well, that pressure is 43 millimeters of mercury greater. So when we add these together, we get 773 millimeters of mercury. But notice here, we only have two significant figures, and here we also only have two significant figures. But since we are adding, this goes to the tens place, so I'm going to round to the tens place. So 770 millimeters of mercury would be our answer. Go ahead and attempt B and C, and then attempt all of number 2. Number 3 through 10 asks you to convert between different units of pressure. So for number 3, we start with 730 millimeters of mercury, and we're converting it into ATM. Well, we know that 1 ATM is equal to 760 millimeters of mercury. So 730 is a little less than 760, so I'm going to assume that my answer in ATM will be a little less than 1. So let's see. Start with what you're given, 730 mmHg, and draw your multiplication sign in a line. I want to get rid of millimeters of mercury, so that goes on bottom. This way, millimeters of mercury will cancel with millimeters of mercury. And then I'm trying to convert it into ATM. That's what I want to get to. And my numbers, I know that 1 ATM is equal to 760 millimeters of mercury. So I'm doing 730 times 1 divided by 760. When I plug this in, I got 0.9605. I have 2 significant figures here, 2 significant figures here. So I'm going to finish with 2 significant figures. So my answer will be 0.96 ATM. That comes from right there. My millimeters of mercury canceled out, so I'm left with ATM. Go ahead and pause the video and try number 4 by yourself. So in number 4, I'm converting from 2.1 ATM to kilopascals, kPa. So I start with my 2.1 ATM, my multiplication sign in a line. I'm canceling ATM, so that goes on bottom. And I'm trying to get to kilopascals, so that's on top. I know that 1 ATM is equal to 101.3 kilopascals. So now I'm doing 2.1 times 101.3 divided by 1, which equals 212.73. Now I have 2 significant figures. 1, 2, 3, 4, but 2 is less than 4, so I'm going to round to two significant figures. So that's 210 kPa. And go ahead and complete the worksheet.